Welcome back to another episode of Techno Talk podcast. Today we are joined by Travis Gradwell and Mark Darling. Mark is the owner of Courtyard and Travis is part of Salted's event organizing team. And together they've hosted some of the maddest strolls in Stellenbosch, including Sunday School. Mark, Travis, welcome.
Thank you.
How you guys doing?
Good. I'm doing pretty well.
Before we start talking, I just want to give a shout out to Uncle's Brandy. I highly recommend going and checking out their story. Very unique and a great tasting brandy. Also, big thank you to Mark for letting us use Courtyard to film and record today's episode. To start off, I just wanted to ask Mark, how did Courtyard come about? Because, for those of you that don't know, this man runs this beautiful venue.
Thanks, Nico. Basically, I was still doing my studies. I think it was 2017, I was doing my M, and the previous place asked me to manage her. I'd always been in the bar festival industry, running bars and that. And then, I was here for about 8 months. It wasn't going very well. I we didn't see eye to eye with the owner and their vision. And they lost a lot of money. They hadn't paid me for a while. And then they offered me to take some shares to alleviate that debt that they owed me. So I took that on, and then it kept on stumbling and going. And then we bought the other two partners out, and then my friend that runs bars with me bought into the place, and now it's just us two owners.
And how fairly, when did this happen? Fairly recently or?
2018, pretty much.
Okay,
so it's been 3 years, 3-4 years. Yeah.
Okay, and then Trav, how did you get involved with Mark and Courtyard and everything?
I joined here early 2021. I was hustling people at the digs actually for some spare pocket money, doing people's washing for them for money, picking them up from clubs, and Mark got hold of me and just said, you can come hustle behind the bar rather. So we started to work here for about a year, and then that's when Salted got going and the rest of the events.
Very cool, yeah. And for a long time, I'll admit, the lines were blurred for me between who was who, because I originally thought, I knew you as the owner.
Yeah.
And I only thought of Travis and Roy as the event organizers, especially when Sunday School started.
Yeah.
And how did you fit into the whole event organizing part? Because now you've bridged outside of Courtyard to Daisy Jones with Sunday School.
So basically, Roy and Travis came to me, and asked if they could host events here on Sundays, as we weren't open on Sundays at that time. And it was extra income for us. It was a way for them to earn extra income as well, and started developing from there. We basically gave them a bit of leniency on a few things, and that was basically my contribution to it, to become a partner with it.
Okay, and talk a bit about Sunday School, right? Tell us, because now I'd say it's a well-established event in Stellenbosch that people know about.
It's doing well. As Mark said, we just started off on a small Sunday here, asked if we could get the venue. He wouldn't charge us a fee, and being a very nice venue, we just latched onto good music and music that Stellenbosch lacks. So try to get a bunch of DJs like yourself, James Richardson, Mikey, and just got going. The very first one was about 30 people, 40 people.
Yeah, max.
Yeah,
tiny. It was just good music on a Sunday, come for a burger.
And it was literally here.
Yeah.
Where we are now. Yeah.
And after that, the people enjoyed it, came the next Sunday, and it got a bit bigger, bring your friend type of thing. And after that, we had to move venues just based on capacity and growth.
And in your opinion, what is your favorite Sunday School?
It must have been the finale last year, season one. Yeah.
That was the first one.
The finale last year?
Season one.
Season one finale. Yeah. My favorite was definitely the season 2 opening one.
Yeah, that was now, recently.
Yeah.
Beginning. One that actually stood out for me is when Osama got released.
Yeah.
And I still...
a fight over who could
but aside from that, I still remember how distinct the sun came in and that one.
I remember walking into the pantry and you guys were arguing about who could play.
I actually spoke about that in James's podcast.
Yes, it was funny.
Which was flipping funny. And Mark, obviously Temple just happened.
Yeah.
So talk a bit about that. How did that come to fruition? What made you guys want to take that step into almost the festival scene?
So, yes, I've been running bars for festivals for 5-6 years now. and it's always been one of our like dreams to like take that step. So my brother and I have both run bars for a long time. Roy's also been involved in that, and we thought it was just the right time to start taking that extra step. We thought that there was maybe a gap in the market for something with higher production that could introduce students to something that they don't really know that well yet.
Yeah.
That's our dream. I don't know if we executed it or not, but yeah,
Okay.
we live and learn.
And you weren't involved in that, yeah?
No,
Not in Temple.
No.
So you're involved in Solar or Sunday school?
Originally, but Roy's been taking solo on his own, and so
Okay.
it's just Sunday school.
Just Sunday school, okay. And thing I wanted to ask both of you is there any particular artist, a dream artist per se, that you'd want to bring to one of the events?
Yeah.
I would love for Lane 8 to come play.
Lane 8.
He's definitely on top of the list,
Yeah.
yeah. I'd love that.
The day headliner.
And
for
I'm a big stimming fan, so I'd love a sunset
Actually,
stimming.
he came to Cape Town, eh?
Yeah, at
And
Carbo Beach Club.
Yeah, I watched him in Joburg, but yeah, his production and
I love him a lot.
yeah,
We've been chatting around for like trying to get hold of like a lot of agents and that. It's really tricky to get like
yeah, it's quite
to narrow it down to someone. And I don't want to say like this person, then we can't bring them, and then we bring someone else, and then that sound bad. Like,
Okay,
oh yeah,
yeah,
but you
fair.
wanted that one.
Okay, but like dream level, I'm talking like world class.
Yeah, Purple Disco Machine would be dream level.
Purple discussion, big vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Trav, I mean, we had some DJ workshops together.
Yeah.
Have either of you ever ventured into the actual music playing part of things?
Not quite yet.
I've played quite a bit back at the house, but I've never played in front of a festival group or anything.
Okay.
I still enjoy it a lot. Maybe get into it sometime when I've got a bit more time on my hands to perfect it.
Yeah, so that's actually very interesting to me because like for me now, obviously when I'm organizing events, like, or when I want to like organize an event, it's flipping sirens here. If you're in South Africa, it's difficult to almost draw the line between being an artist and your other role as an organizer. So like, especially for you guys, or you said you've never been
No.
ventured into the DJing and stuff, but like, how common is it when you're organizing an event to stick to a specific role, or does
It's
everything
quite
kind
tricky,
of
like,
does everything kind of become blurred? Like, are you in charge of sound? Are you in charge of this? Or is it almost like,
Well, coming in, obviously I had not been involved in such a business before with these type
Yeah.
of events, so it was very welcoming of Roy and Mark to bring me into this and give me an opportunity to get going. So at the start of it, up until now, really, we'd pretty much word of mouth who's doing what for the event. I'll organize this, you organize that type of thing.
Yeah.
Because lots of the things one would say he can organize it, but maybe Roy has much better contacts for me for certain things. Mark as well may be more networked for particular. Beginning, I would prefer to offer to do the sort of the work that nobody else wants to do just to get it done. But now we've sort of distinguished roles and decided.
But yeah, it's always tricky. Like, as you're saying, like, they do become blurred when you set out a certain thing and then you realize that maybe you can do it better or someone else can do what you're doing better than you.
Yeah.
And then the lines do become blurred and it really does become quite tricky. So it is something that we are looking at, let's say,
becoming more
making more
definitive?
clear like, in the future. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, I think that's also like a key part about building the team around you. It's like you can get 4 people who can
Do all the same
everything
thing,
well, or you can get 4 people who can do one thing excellently.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I've seen that especially when events in East London when it comes to like booking artists. Like, someone would like organize the whole event and be like, okay, I'm just going to book these artists, and you don't really cater the lineup properly
Exactly.
for the event. And
But that's something that like maybe we're still learning the trick of the trade of like how to curate your lineup.
yeah,
I mean, it's easy to go like, okay, cool, he plays softer or like he plays Afro House, you got to play him first. But actually curating it so that like the party has like ebbs and flows to it.
Yeah.
Because you can't have everyone raging on the dance floor from minute 1 to the end.
no, 100%.
So you got to have like where let's say even like the third DJ is starting to bring it down again so that people can go and chill
Yeah.
and like build up energy for the next artist or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, I've spoken about it before and to like many people. It's like Stellenbosch has this like heavy techno filter. I want to call it a filter. Like it's overlaid almost over everything.
Yeah.
It's like when someone comes with like a genre or like a new form, it's like, no, give me techno.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what's so exciting about like these artists that start bringing Afrocentric styles and like deep house styles and it actually is super popular, but people still want techno. It's the weirdest thing.
Yeah, like, I mean, I think it also comes, it's like how everyone is. When you're 18 to 22 or 18 to 25 or whatever you want to classify this as, you kind of want to go like as hard as possible and like, like it's the people that like, let's describe it like drinking vodka and Red Bull compared to drinking like whiskey.
Yeah.
Like you've got to grow into it. And it's got to take time and a process. You can't just suddenly tell someone who has like a 25-year-old whiskey and they're going to have to drink it.
Yeah, that's true actually.
Like they've got to like go through the process of learning, okay, cool, it's hard, then it's going to go softer. Same, like, what's the right way to describe it? Like a metal band that goes a little bit more commercial after time.
Yeah.
They've like developed their own sound. Yeah.
Well, I think that's what's so cool about what you guys have started to do. I'd say it's still like obviously fairly early in the process, like with Sunday School, with all these events, but there's much more like, there's a bigger appreciation for the art of it. And like, you can feel that, like it definitely resonates through. Like people talk about it, I promise you. So like, big ups to both of you for...
Well, thank you. That was one of our like main targets, was to introduce people to not just like something with a hard bass line.
Yeah. I mean, Trav, I'm sure your network of like people, what's the general consensus? Do they want the hard stuff? Do they want the...
I think in Stellenbosch specifically, people are so generalized to one specific thing.
Yeah,
There's only an X amount of clubs that play exactly the same music, that do exactly the same thing, and it's just an argument at breeze as to which one you're going to.
Yeah.
But it's something new, something that Stellenbosch needed. I think a lot of people that know about music, know about techno and festivals, have appreciated the chance to not have to travel to go to such an event and to have it around here. But for people our age in Stellenbosch, they're getting into it, I guess. They're starting to understand it a bit more, understand the different types of genres and music.
Yeah, I can literally feel
and
that
accepting
happening.
them as well.
Yeah, I can feel that happening, but it just takes obviously time. Yeah. Because that's the thing, like Cape Town has that diversity. Obviously, it's a much bigger place, yes, we know, but they genuinely do have that diversity, and there's like a small pocket of artists that cross between Stellenbosch and Cape Town.
Yeah.
But it still feels like very small,
Like,
and it still feels like two isolated areas.
Yeah.
Which
Agreed.
Which can like, we've definitely
been
bridge that
having
can be built there.
Yeah.
it's definitely been starting. We've had a lot more Cape Townians come to the previous events. The increase in ticket sales to Cape Town has been increasing, and which is also what we want. Because
that's good, That's a big draw. I mean,
it's a tough one to get, but it is slowly breaking down.
Well, like, if you had to look at it on paper, it seems so simple. It's like, it's 40 minutes away. Like, it's such a big place. We should get like 100 people, but it doesn't materialize like that. And but there's definitely a big opportunity there.
But with regards to the bridge between Stellenbosch and Cape Town, I think there are a few places, like if you look at Stellenbosch 5 years ago, 6 years ago, it was like dirty techno that was being played at like Tin Roof, and like sing along, like I don't even know what the genre is really called. Like,
those bootlegs.
Yeah, like
bootlegs.
So it's like Terrace, Tin Roof, Catwalk. They all play like the same type of like commercial bootleg.
I know exactly what
you know what I'm talking about. And now you look at it, all of those have disappeared, and like new things are popping up. Like Fool's Gold is probably the best things that happened in Stellenbosch in a long time. Like they are introducing, you look at their lineups, it's got like a lot of Cape Town DJs that are like with Stellenbosch DJs.
Yes.
So they are breaking those lines.
It's a pocket. It's
exactly like it is the one pocket, and even like places like the Meeting Place, that's like very sit down. You can like see the, I don't know what you like the
room for growth, or
no, not room for growth. Like where they like identify something from maybe Cape Town, because they've got a very much feel like yours truly used to have. Like where there's like a DJ, but it's not a dancing DJ.
Yeah,
it's
like
a lounge. Music,
it's like a lounge house.
Yeah, exactly. And like those things didn't exist in Stellenbosch 5 years ago.
That's where I feel like there's such a gap in the market for,
Yeah.
because I don't want to say there's such a saturated portion of the music scene here that's like the same. Like if I walk into a place, it's not. There's particular areas where it's not identified. Like I can be listening to a song and I can be looking at a wall, but it could be 20 venues.
Yeah.
Whereas
I know what
like
you're saying.
I want to be able to
Identify exactly.
yeah, like
When you feel like a certain type
and
of music,
especially
you go to
when
that
like
club.
yeah, especially like now that I want to start pushing out events and stuff. It's like I want to be able for someone to hear one song and see one thing and be like, I know where I am.
Yeah.
It's so powerful, and that's what if someone resonates with whatever you create, they come back. That's exactly what happened in Sunday school.
Yeah.
You have the whole day into night thing, and
But that is like such a tricky thing, like because let's take Courtyard for example. We'll play like let's call it like minimal techno, and you'll be playing, and there'll be 10 people really jamming to it, and there'll be 40 people that come in and want gimme playing.
yes, yeah,
You know, and then you're sitting there and you're like, well, do I cater for the 40 people that just came in, or the 10 people that are loving what you're doing?
But the exact same applies to music.
Yeah.
I think as you become a bigger like artist, there's demands on you to perform a certain. So like, there's nothing stopping David Guetta from bringing the hardest techno song in the world out,
Yeah. But it just wouldn't work.
and like you'd get like probably like 100,000 new fans.
Yeah.
But it's stylistically not what he wants. So I think there's also a balance to like, what's going to pay the bills and what you want to do.
Exactly. I know. I fully agree with that. It's like a balance that you got to find, and you just got to stick to what you're true at.
Yes.
And it might fail. Like
Yeah.
you got to like have it might fail. Like you can't have that like fear of failing because you want to play this type of music.
Yeah.
Because you will irritate a lot of people. There will be a lot of people that will be like, "This is shit. I don't like it." But then you will get that like start building up your following because you are like a unique character or a unique.
Yeah. But it's also difficult because electronic music is a niche. It's not.
It is.
It's not streamed. Like it's not. I mean, it is, but it's not. If you're comparing to the people that want Mamma Mia,
Yeah.
it's not the same at all. And that's what's. It's almost disheartening, but it's hopeful as well, because it's only up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
only up.
Exactly.
But yeah.
One thing I'd also like to add on top of your question based on getting Sunday school out there and the other events is that we were also quite fortunate to, because Stellenbosch is very sort of new or mild to techno, electro, house, afro type genres, we were lucky to catch DJs like yourself also trying to get their name out there.
Yeah.
So we were able to catch guys that would play for a burger and a beer at the first one, where they could be
It's crazy. Right?
they could be charging us whatever they think is
Getting me
necessary for the last one. so we were lucky to not have to try start by ordering big DJs to come and play. We caught very, very talented DJs at the right
There are
time.
some
Thank you.
talented DJs in this time.
Yeah.
They are.
But are any of them producing it? Like,
I mean,
see, that's when you really can start like separating yourself from being a guy that can mix a little bit to being like, I mean,
because then you're very identified.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because then it'll be like your song,
Yeah.
you know. Whereas like guys that are just mixing other people's music, really, you still got to select the right music and everything. You still got to have that ear for like, okay, cool, and like being able to read the crowd and everything. But once you start producing music, I think that's when you become, let's say, from a DJ to an artist.
Yeah.
But I mean, you guys know, just from my side, like, I don't think of myself as a DJ. I don't. Like, I think of myself as like an artist, because, I mean, you've seen for like the Sunday school events, when I bring the live setup and the vocalist and whatever, like, it's not like you're playing music, you're creating.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Like,
But I think that was one of the things I was going to say. Like in the start, if you're just a popular guy, okay, let's go back. If you're going to hire a DJ from like an events perspective, you're going to be like, okay, from a business perspective, you're like, okay, cool. This guy brings 200 people. Okay, this guy brings X. So I've got to pay him X. I will make Y. Okay, cool. Does the sum work?
Yeah.
But so in Stellenbosch, the venues only take 100 people. Got 100 mates, you fill the venue.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
100%.
saying? You could be the worst DJ in the world and bring 100 mates.
Yeah, and the
And
places
they're
make money, so they're happy.
okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing of like the stylistic paying the bill
Yeah.
dynamic. It's like, you know, someone like you now has an appreciation for the other side.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you're able to almost be in the middle.
But I try.
Yeah,
It's
I know
quite
you
difficult.
try, but-
I like sometimes you hire someone you like. I really don't like your music, but you bring people.
Yeah,
to
Yeah,
shows.
I agree
Yeah,
with that. Many times, I think you want a DJ that brings clout and brings followers, not necessarily it's your favorite artist. Because I think we have some really talented artists in Stellenbosch. I've been to big festivals with famous artists, and the music is comparable. It's not
Yeah.
as if you get there and it's like,
That's
oh,
true,
what have
yeah.
we been listening to? It's
Yeah.
just about getting a DJ that you can put his name on the like in
And
bold on your
bring a
ticket,
crowd,
and everyone
yeah.
will be like, oh,
But yeah, you see, that's the thing when you find that like gem that can do both.
yeah.
Like
That's
for
the
me-
goal.
For me, that's we know. Like
It's quite tricky. So, like Stellenbosch is weird. Like the venues, there's no venue here that can take 500 people. And the people that have got like 100 mates that come to their things, it almost makes it worse when you take them to a 500 seater venue, because then they don't have that like. It's the right way to phrase it. Like they feel they own the venue. All their friends are there because now they own the whole place. So it's like almost like a private party to them.
Yeah.
And then when you take them to something bigger, they lose that feel. So then they don't even go because they're like just a number in the crowd.
Yes.
Yeah.
But just that's also very dangerous, and I've also seen that. I've seen that happen here.
Yeah.
But, the complete opposite of that, which is what happened with Sunday school, is that it started off with 10 of your mates, 10 of my mates, you know,
Yeah.
your mates, whatever,
My
and then
mate's a bit old.
yeah, and then it went to Daisy Jones,
Yeah.
where it was 200 people you've never seen before.
That was what made this first one, the season 2 opening, so great. Like I recognized a majority of the people, but there were so many new faces that I was like,
Yeah.
this is actually very cool. This means that the brand is actually developing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a very distinct brand.
Yeah.
Like
We do also try to make Sunday school quite personal with the people, like getting to know
Yeah.
them and making them feel welcome. You know, sort of a loyalty reward, so to say. If for the people that all came to the first one, if we recognized any of them, we were really welcoming at these
Yeah.
ones.
Oh, that's what Roy and Travis do very well.
I must.
They seem to like,
Welcome.
like know face, recognize the face, chat to them.
But you know, that's one thing that still stands out to this day. I promise you. I still have mates that I brought to the first one, and Mark, you gave out shots to everyone,
Yeah.
and it was like such a surprise because they'd never been to a Stellenbosch place where the owner bought you drinks
Yeah, and so
and brought everyone drinks, and then it was like they still talk about it to this day.
yeah, we
Makes me happy.
try to make it personal like that, so that they want to come each
Yeah.
time, that they feel welcome, and that also the word of mouth, I think, is one of our biggest marketing sort of platforms. And when people really had a comfortable, happy time with the
Yeah.
like at the festival with the people, then they not just invite their friends, but try to convince their friends to come experience it,
Yeah.
which is how we're trying to expand.
But you know, it's such an intricate process because like I look, and you know, it's like when you're organizing something and you know the effort you've put in and you know the costs you've done, and you're like, oh, turn around a ticket, like it'll be fine. Like,
Yeah.
oh, 100 rand, it's only 100 rand, like compared to
Yeah.
what I've done. But then converse side of that, the consumer's like 100 rand.
Yeah, but this is the
But
part
it is 100 rand. Like,
it confuses me. It's like, how much does a Big Mac meal
Yes.
cost? It's like $70. Suddenly, like you're like, yo, you can pay $100.
yeah.
And then you're getting like a quality act where you would rather go.
You're getting an
to somewhere-
experience.
An experience.
Yeah.
Where you would rather go to, let's say, another place in town, and listen to not very good DJs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's one thing I plan to do. Like by the time I'm 40, I would have hoped to have left a mark in this sense, where like you're not going to be happy to hear this as a venue owner, but like there needs to be a more established like platform for art.
I agree.
And that means if it means DJs averaging base charges higher, whatever, like there needs to be an all-encompassing, more established platform, and it starts with like in the middle of Corona, the government not even subsidizing like the best people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No, I agree. And like, let's put a caveat to that. It's like there's got to be a level that you got to be at then to be able to charge.
No,
something.
yeah. Okay, to charge like, yeah.
Yeah. You know, like, you can hire very good DJs for not that much. Like, extremely good DJs because they maybe your mate or something. But I feel that they should start, now that everything's opened up, they shouldn't be looking for money. They should be looking for selective parties
Yes.
that they paid.
But you see that there's like a distinct gap between being able to like live off the industry
Yeah.
and a side job.
Yeah, but I think there's like the difference between like a grinder and like a commercial hit. I don't
Yeah.
know if that makes any
No,
sense.
it definitely does.
And there is
And-
place for both of those guys. Even the grinder that set fee is, let's call it $3,000, and he plays 6 nights a week. He's still earning almost 60 grand a month.
yeah, but
Or like, and it's
Fine.
probably in the back pocket. It's not like probably
Yeah.
picks that up cash and doesn't pay tax on it or whatever.
But you see, once again, it's such an intricate thing because there could be a month where you
Nothing
get any
happens.
gigs.
Yeah,
It could be 2 months where nothing happens.
no.
Yeah, and it's just such an intricate process. I just want to give a big thank you to Mark and Trav for joining today, and also thanks to Mark again for letting us use Courtyard. Thank you to you for listening or watching, and I hope to see you next time.